Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Okay, here we go. We have a full body conditioning session today. So we're going to be focusing on our lungs, working our conditioning, focusing on our full body. We'll be starting off with a nice warm-up. We have a little bit of balance work that we are going to be doing today. And then we have some Tabata conditioning work that is happening after we get you all nice and warmed up and get your balance warmed up and all that stuff. So for equipment today, I am, first things first, wearing my shoes because we are going to be doing some stuff that requires impact. So if you are wanting to join me on that, then I would suggest putting on your shoes. I have my 8-pound dumbbells, my 2 loop bands, my mat, and this body. You have yours, and so let's get it started. We're going to bring it to the end of the mat. No equipment involved for our warm-up, standing hip-width apart in our feet, starting off with our walk out. So when we get down to the bottom here, we shall step in and open up towards that leg. So you know this one, you've been here before. We'll do this on both sides. Other side. And then we'll walk back up to the top. When you get up here, we'll reach those arms over our head and we'll give ourselves a little reach over to one side and then a little reach over to the other side. And then we'll go back down and do that 4 more times to make it 5. So you guys know this one because we've done it before. We try to incorporate this one in at least once a week. This is an awesome warm-up movement because it incorporates everything from the back of your legs as we're walking down to the bottom here, to your hips, your lower back as we're opening up. Should not be painful. You should feel stretching happening in lots of places. We'll just work with whatever range we have. So we'll go through 5 of these with the opening. Taking our sweet time with a bit of a reach down to each side, over to each side rather. Very nice. There you go. Okay, so we'll get through 5 of those. Taking our sweet time with them. And you'll probably feel a little looser as you go through those as you get going through them. The next one that we're going into requires a squat stance. So once you're finished your last one of that 5, we're going to stand ourselves a little bit wider than our hips with a slight angle out on our toes. We'll be sitting down into a squat and trying to grab as close to the floor as we can. So I'm going to grab onto the front of my shins here by my ankles. Then I'll straighten on my legs as much as I can, sit back down into the squat, and then we'll stand and extend those arms overhead. That's 1, and we'll do 10 of those. So we're really trying to tap into the opening of the back of the legs, and how straight you get your legs depends on you, your body, how flexible, how mobile you are back there, and same with your depth. Some of us might want to sit a little bit higher, maybe with our hands on our knees like this, whereas others might be able to get all the way down to the floor if you're very bendy, okay? And so we'll go through 10 of these total. Warming it up, loosening it up as we go through those 10. There you go. Okay, so back to the legs, hamstrings, there it is. And then we reach, and again, same with this one. You might find as you go through these 10, you might be getting a little looser, maybe you can sit a little bit lower, get your legs a bit straighter, but we are not forcing anything in any of these. Okay, so this is our second one. So I'll give you about 10 more seconds to finish that one up. Once you are done that one, the next one you will need something to hold on to. So I'm going to use this wall over here, and I am standing on my right side, and I'm going to hold the wall with my left hand here. So you can position yourself. It doesn't have to be a wall necessarily. It can be a chair, it can be a bookcase, it can be pretty much anything that is relatively stable. We're going to put all of the weight onto that one leg, again, opposite side that I'm holding onto. Soften out that knee, and we'll hinge our hips back into our single leg deadlift. When we get down here, we're going to open up the hips towards the wall, close the hips, and then we'll stand up to the top. That was 1, and we're going to do 10 of those per side. So again, we go down. We're trying to open up the hips towards that wall. Close. So really separating that movement and then following through with that deadlift through that full rep. So that's 2, Okay, so a couple things you can think about are opening up your chest and turning your back bottom foot here towards the wall to help promote you to open up a little bit wider through that turn. We'll try to get through holding our balance as best as we can, but you do have this wall for support, okay? So this one is not necessarily really tapping into the balance quite yet. Right now, we're trying to open up your inner thigh, which you will feel in the inner hip as you open up towards that wall. You should feel a little bit of opening happening up in there, if not definitely through the back of your legs. So we'll get that going on both sides. I know this one can be a little bit weird. These ones are called hip airplanes. Do they feel like airplanes? Not sure, but that's our technical term, or maybe not so technical term. So I call them in our programming. And so we are opening up and closing, and we're combining that with the deadlift to get a bit of glute activation. So we'll get that on both sides. 10 and 10. Very nice. And where are we? Approaching the balance. Okay, so as you come to an end on that one, we are going to get you started on this specific balance work that we are going to go through. We have 2 movements, 2 exercises that we are going to focus and hone in on our balancing skills. So what we're going to start with is the one down on the floor, which is a variation of our bird dog. So the bird dog looks a little something like this. So what we're going to do in this bird dog today is be working with 30 seconds on one side. We're going to have this clock just running, so I will tell you when to switch. Every 30 seconds, we're going to switch sides. We'll complete 3 sets total, where we're trying to maintain our balance and go through this bird dog in and out, not touching the ground for this entire 30 seconds. Now, this exercise can be so easy, okay? It is a simple exercise, and you can make this really easy if you just do it the normal way, which is how I just showed you there. So what I want you to do is get yourself into position here. I'm going to show you something that is going to crank this up and really make the balance super challenging with very little change. So what we're going to do is start off with our shoulders stacked over our wrists, our hips stacked over our knees. What I want you to do is lift up your opposite arm, opposite leg, and just go through a couple reps, not touching the floor. Okay, see how it feels. Now we'll put that back down, and I want you to have your hands touching and your knees touching. So we're kind of standing in a more narrow position, and our wrists are sitting inside our shoulders, our knees inside our hips. And now we'll lift up, and we'll see how that feels. And this is going to be you. I'm going to press start right now, and I just did, and we're going to start our first side here. Okay, so we're trying, woo, this is hard to look to the side and do this. We'll try to hold this more tight rope position. That's what I like to call this one, when we're kind of putting ourselves into that more narrow stance, and then we're working with this bird dog. Okay, you have 10 more seconds on this side. So we'll try to just keep our belly button tucked in so that we're not arching our back, having our back move at all. And switch sides. So right away, we'll just lift up that other side here, and we'll try to get going on it, doing the same thing we did on the first side, keeping our hands, keeping our knees in nice close and together. Okay, and breathing through this one. So a couple things to note if you are feeling a lot of pressure on your knees, especially when you go into that more narrow stance, it tends to kind of put a bit of pressure there. You can always fold up your mat like this, okay? Because you are switching to your first side and now. So we'll go back to the first side for our second set, and we'll try to see if we can get this going on here. Again, the more narrow you are, the harder. So even if I was to narrow that up a little bit more and bring my wrist and this opposite knee almost in line with each other, woo! Okay, something you can try. Not necessary, because it does make it very hard. Bird dogs. Okay, and switch sides. So we're back on that second side for our second set. Now, although, yes, the focus of this is balance, I want you to focus on not touching your knee down, not touching your hand down. We're also getting a lot of other stuff in this, including a lot of work in our core, through our lower back and our glutes, okay? But sometimes we have to kind of think about that in order to get it. So you have one more set, and it starts in 5 seconds. Okay, so we need one more rep on this side. 3, 2, and we'll switch back to the first side for our final set. And in this last set, we'll try to pull in our belly button a little bit more through the whole set and kick, leading with our heel as we extend that leg out, which is going to make us feel a bit more in that glute. Okay, so see if you can get these last few reps. Tightening here, feeling the glutes. Okay, couple more. 3, 2, and we'll switch sides. Here we are on our final set of these balancing tightrope bird dogs. So we'll finish up strong here. Again, pulling in that belly button to our spine, doing a little bit of a crunch the entire time, and you'll feel the difference if you do that. Okay, we have 10 more seconds down here. Very nice work. Okay, so we'll breathe through this. 3, 2, 1, and yes, nice work, my friends. Okay, we can stand up to the top. Yes, get off the floor, get off our knees, get off our hands. All right, so we are going to move on to the next one. Hopefully you are feeling warm after that. So this final one, like I said, there are 2 balance focus movements today. This second one and last one of our balance is going to be our standing handoff, where I'm going to try to maintain my balance here, hold an object, preferably a weighted dumbbell in our hand, and I will be passing it back and forth between my hands while attempting to stand on one leg, okay? So what we have going on here, this isn't really doing anything except making our balance harder, us passing our dumbbell back and forth. So if you already struggle with balance, you don't necessarily need to have this dumbbell be passed back and forth here. And again, you can use any weighted object like a water bottle or a phone or even a band or a towel in place of the dumbbell if you do not have one. So let's get going right on this one. We've been here before. I want you to stand on one leg. It does not matter which one you start with. Maybe start with your harder one if you know that which one that is. I'm going to press start on this timer in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So we're trying to, first off, find our balance. We want to be standing with a soft knee. So we don't want a completely locked out leg. We want that knee slightly soft. And that's going to help us involve more muscles through that leg, starting down in our foot, all the way up through the muscles around our knees, up into our glutes. So we want to hold this here, and then again, trying to pass whatever back and forth between those hands. Okay, this one side for 3, 2, and we will switch sides. So right away, we'll try to find that same position on this other leg here, and we'll pass this guy back and forth, trying to maintain the soft knee, holding our balance here. Okay, so you have 15 more seconds here. Now this one will completely surprise some of you. This one can be way harder than it looks, especially if you naturally just aren't the best at balancing. Okay, you have 2 more chances. The second one starts right now. So we'll switch back to the first side, and we will try to find that balance here and hold this as strong as we can. And if you are someone who struggles a little bit more than the average with balancing things, oftentimes your foot is the problem. It plays a really big role in balance. We have to think about gripping it into the floor, because if we're kind of teeter-tottering all over our foot, well, that's not going to do our body any good in trying to maintain this balance. And switch sides. So we'll go through the second set here, trying to do the same thing. Oh, we are standing on one leg. There we go. Okay, so we're breathing through this. Trying to, again, find the balance. Think about all those little muscles in your legs. You're feeling it's starting to burn. Should be starting to kind of catch up to you here. We have 1 more set, and then we are going to move on. Okay, and that starts in 3, 2, 1, and we will switch sides and finish off with this final round. Okay, final set of the balance. We'll see if we can pass that dumbbell back and forth. Very nice. Okay, this one, in theory, the more we do this every set, every week, every day that we do this, you should be feeling better at it, because we're kind of waking up stuff that you don't normally use, and the more we practice it, the more we do it, in theory, it should be getting a little easier. All right, and time. Nice work. Okay, we have other side, final set of this last side, and then we are done. Okay, this is it. Last 20 seconds. I know I said timer like you were done. Sorry about that. You have 20 more seconds on this last side here. Quick math, and then we are finished. We balance. Okay, maybe there's a bit of balance snuck into our conditioning, we will see, but nothing specific like this. Okay, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and now. Okay, nice work. You can grab yourself some water, and we are going to get started on the first part here. There are 5 parts to this session today. We are working with Tabata. So Tabata is our interval time format of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. The good news about today's session is we're going to be focusing on 1 exercise at a time, completing 8 sets total of that 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off of that 1 exercise, okay? So like I said, there are 5 parts, which means we have 5 different movements we're going to do this for. We will start off with the first one, which in my humble opinion, I think is going to be the hardest one. We will see, of course. We're starting off with a squat jump. So for those of you who don't jump right off the bat, if you want, you could potentially add a weight to this or simply just work without weight, and we have lots of options on these squat jumps to go through. So what's going to happen here on this timer that is going to be set, again, for 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're going to have that interval running 8 sets total, which takes us 4 minutes. I know that all sounds a little bit much right now. It goes faster than it sounds, of course. And then once we're finished that, we are going to have 2 full minutes of rest after all of those squat jumps that we do. And then in that 2 minutes, I'll explain the next exercise, and we will do the same thing for the next 2, 3, and all 5 of them. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. And if it doesn't, it shall as we get started here on these squat jumps. So like I said, ideally, I want you to squat jump like this for 20 seconds. Okay, we can have the arms either help us on the way up, or you can have the arms go down as you go up. Really comes down to preference. We're doing that for 20 seconds, and then we are resting and shaking it out for 10. Okay, 8 sets, and then we will take 2 minutes of rest. You ready? Maybe not, but that's okay. We're going to do it anyways, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Here we go. So again, if you are low impact, if you do not jump, you don't have to jump. You can squat with just, body weight like this. You can come up onto your toes like so, okay? Or if you want, you can hold a weight in front of you here for a bit more resistance because you're not leaving the floor. All right, and rest. Okay, so now this is that 10 seconds. Which is really not a lot of time, okay? But it certainly does break it up and make it possible, here we go, for you to do all these squat jumps. Then at any point, if you're not gonna make it, we can go to regular squats, okay? Or you can simply just do less squat jumps in that amount of time. You do 1 and just kind of go a little bit slower with them rather than, going so fast. Rest, nice work. Okay, so that was our second set. Woohoo! Breathing, resting. Here we go, 3rd set. Let's do it. Number 3. I love it, Darcy. You got your daughter joining you. She's doing the squat jumps. So cute. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice work. Okay. So again, we are resting, but not going too far, not letting our mind stray too far, because here we go again, which is going to take us to our halfway point. Okay, this one right here. But like I said, once we're done all these 8 sets, that is it for these ones. Okay, and then we're moving on to the next exercise. You do not have to do these squat jumps again today, tomorrow, well, I guess for the rest of the week, and rest. Nice job. Okay. Here we go, set number 5. So this is where it starts to get a little bit hairy, a little bit burning if it's not already. Okay, so this is where it's going to start to creep up on you. So we'll just try to pace ourselves, do exactly what you did on those first few sets. Don't think about it, okay, just try to push through it before you know you'll be there. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay. So we're breathing between these sets and stay moving around. But here we go, set number 6. We have 2 more after this one. And then again, we have 2 minutes of rest, which sounds very nice right now. okay? But you have to earn that rest. You have to push yourself really hard right now so that you get that 2 minutes of rest. We don't want to be feeling antsy, in that 2 minutes. We want to need that rest from these squat jumps. Rest, nice work. Woo! Okay, last two. We got this. We got this. Ready? And here we go. Okay, second last time from here. Let's get it as many as you can in, trying to stay in control, landing nice and soft in these ones. 3, 2, 1, and okay. One last one, and then we are resting for 2 minutes. Okay, but get ready, get set. Here we go. Let's do it. Final set of our squat jumps. Finish as strong as we can, okay? Using all of our energy that we have left for these squat jumps, which is at this point not a lot, but still you should push yourself for this last 5 seconds here. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and rest. And I have this timer set right now for 2 minutes, okay? So that's what you have to just walk around, shake out your legs, because I know they're burning, grab a bit of water, and I will be explaining our second movement, which is going to be done in that same format, okay? So for this next one, we have the option to put down our imaginary lines, okay? Because what we're going to be working with, ideally we want 2 lines here. I'll have my feet outside of the lines like this, a little bit wider than my hips, and I'm going to come inside and then outside of the lines. And I'll try to build up my pace and eventually do this so fast, okay? Get everything shaken for that 20 seconds, in and out like this. And then the 10 seconds, again, we're just resting, okay? So that is going to be our second one. Again, we're trying to move our feet in and outside of 2 lines. If you don't have 2 lines, well, you have an imagination, okay? So you can imagine 2 lines on the floor. Ideally, I want you to have some form of reference point, but this works, okay? All right, let's see where we're at for the timer. You do have a little bit more rest here, okay? So we'll take the next, about 40 seconds to just breathe. When this 40 seconds is done, the timer is going to start for these in and out fast feet. Now, for those of you who are low impact, we can do the same exercise, just not taking so much impact in our step. We'll just try to stay a little lighter, make it more of a step, rather than kind of stomping the ground like that with a bit more impact, okay? All right, you guys ready? Are you ready for this? Okay, ready or not, we're gonna get you started on this one. Same thing, 8 sets total, and then we are done this one, okay? Starting in 5 seconds. So we'll set up our feet. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Let's do it. So we go in and out, we'll try to move the arms. If that messes you up, don't worry about the arms. We're worried more about the feet. The arms will come in time. We'll be able to move them, either one or both. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so resting. Now, as we are going through these, the heart rate is going to start getting higher and higher as we do this, because there's really not a lot of rest in any of these sets. Here we go, second set. So in that 10 seconds, something that helps is moving. Okay, so I want you to stay here, push yourself as hard as you can for this 20. Okay, right now, which you are way more than halfway, 5 seconds left. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. And now in this 10 seconds of rest, okay, you can just do a little loop, or you can stay still, just kind of keep moving, tapping your feet. It's gonna help you overall feel better and get through this without getting that kind of dizzy, lightheaded feeling that happens when we go from doing something so crazy like this to completely stopping, okay? 10 seconds, let's go. There it is. 3, 2, 1. Rest, rest, rest. Okay. Set number 4, ready? And here we go. So we'll try to move those feet. Again, connecting our brain, our feet, our legs, everything together, tapping into that coordination, trying to get everything moving faster and faster. Okay, your feet, your arms, but everything is working together. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Nice job. Okay, that was our halfway point. We have 4 more. And we are done these. Ready? Here we go. Okay, so we're in this slightly forward athletic stance. We want to stay with our weight leaning over our toes. And that's going to allow us to move faster, move the legs quicker. Let's do it. 5 seconds. And rest. Rest. Okay, 3 more sets. We got this. We do. This one definitely will catch up to you quite quickly. All right, here we go. Okay, so we'll try to find that pace. Again, we want to build up on it as we go through our set so that by the time you are at the last few seconds of this, you cannot go any faster, okay? Because you've built up and you are going as fast as you possibly can. Let's get there. 3, 2, 1, rest, okay? You have 2 more chances to do this one. All right. Ready? Here we go. Let's do it. Second last set, okay? And that's the nice thing about using bands is that if you accidentally step on them, you just kind of step on them, okay? Reminds. Let's go. 5 seconds. Let's do it. Okay, 1 more second. We got this. We do. And when you're done this one, good news. Although this one is not as bad as a squat jump, maybe. Okay, here we go. Last set. In and out, trying to move those feet, those arms as quickly as possible. Again, we want everything shaking on your body. Okay, still staying light on your feet. 10 seconds. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job. Woo, okay. So once again, I have already started our 2-minute rest timer that we have right now before we start the next part, okay? So you have at least 1 full minute here for you to just walk it off, grab some water, okay? Do what you gotta do right now. Just let your heart rate come down a little bit. Feel a little bit better. We have 3 more exercises that we are going to be working with this Tabata style round on. Now this next one is down on the floor. It's the one that is down on the floor. It's going to be our break dancers. Now it has been a hot minute since we've done these break dancers. So I'm going to talk about them a little bit before we get you guys started on them. You also have another minute of rest here, so that's all good. So what we need for this one is a little bit of space. We're going to start off on our hands and knees like this. And then popping off our knees, we'll be rotating and extending this leg through and under like so. Coming back into this off knee position and then rotating and extending this leg over like this. So that is us for our 20 seconds. And then our 10 seconds, I would suggest you to just relax onto your knees here. Of course, you could come up and take a knee, okay, but you only have that 10 seconds. And we don't have a lot of time to transition here, so we'll stay on the floor for this one as best as we can for that rest as well as the work. Now, this one is much harder than it looks. So I will give you some options right now because we have about 20 more seconds here of that 2 minutes to make this a bit easier. So if you tried this and it's simply just not happening because you are still working on learning this one and learning to keep your body tight in this one, we will start off with just lifting off our knees. You can even just hold this position and then start with lifting one leg at a time like this. We can do this for the 20 seconds, okay? And we'll see how that feels. You guys are starting now, okay? Ready? Starting in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's do it. Okay, so when in doubt, we'll just hold this off knee position for the 20. Again, if you can get those opposite for those limbs, your feet to start, and maybe eventually your arm. Okay, we'll see how that feels down there. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so again, on that rest, excuse me, we are just going to stay down here because here we go again. Second set. Okay, just try to kick through, bring that arm to the chest, we'll reset, and then rotate that foot. Big thread on the leg. Okay, 3, 2, and rest. Nice job. Okay, so we're holding this here, breathing. 3, 2, and here we go. Lifting up, working with our third set of this one. Okay, so yes, this one, the focus here is to get your heart rate up. It is to get you breathing hot and heavy, but we also have a lot of other stuff going on here, from stability, work in your shoulders, rest, to work in your core, okay? So you will feel this all over the place, okay? In addition to you getting your heart rate up. Here we go. Set number 4. This is one of those ones that I often used to get asked a lot of, like, what does this one work? And it's hard to explain because it is really a full body situation, but lots of the focus here is your core. So again, we want to be drawing our belly button in. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right, that was our halfway point. We have 4 more and we're done this one. We'll get off this kneeling position. Okay, here we go. So lift up. Again, we'll kick through. Try to work through this one. Extending those opposite legs. Breathing through this one. There it is. 3, 2, rest. Nice work. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, and here we are. Number 6. 2 more to go after this one. You got this. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and a rest. Nice job. Okay, we have 2 more, less than a minute, and we will be done these. All right, get ready and lift it up. Here we go. So we'll try to take this one a little bit slower. More important in this one is control over speed. So we'll try to have that control in our hips so we're not just, flailing and getting there by accident. We want to do everything intentionally in this one. Yes. Nice work. Okay. 1 more, my friends. Last one. Okay, and then we are up off of the floor. Here we go. Final set. 20 seconds. These break dancers that don't really ever make us feel like break dancers. They look like break dancers though. All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and time, my friends. Nice work. So once again, your timer is set for 2 minutes. You can stand up off the floor, get up off your knees, grab some water. We'll walk it off a little bit here. Take the next minute, just a minute and a half, just over that, to rest. Okay, hopefully you're feeling good. We have 2 more of these exercises to do off this Tabata time format. And then, heart done. We have a little stretch at the end, of course. So for the next one, this one is going to be a leg burner. Okay, we're working with our lateral bounds. So we're going to be working laterally bounding side to side for that 20 seconds and resting for the 10. So for this one, we will need some space. We want to make sure that nothing is in our way here. We'll be loading up one leg over on one side like this, and then bounding ourselves over to the other side, having our opposite hand, opposite arm lead the way and guiding us over to that side. And that will be us for that 20 seconds. Okay, so we know this one. Of course, again, the cardio, the conditioning is involved, but the legs, okay, which we'll talk about here as we get started on our first few sets. Now, I like this one a lot, obviously for the fact that it does really get your heart rate up quite efficiently, effectively, but also that sneaky leg work that you can control. You can get as much or as little as you would like. So we have 20 seconds here before we're going to start. So with this one, if you want more work in your legs, if you want to make this more challenging, you have to get lower on this leg, and you can use more of this muscle to help push yourself off. Okay, if you want less leg work, then you just do the opposite. And you can have less bend in the leg and do what you need to do to get through this as fast as you can. Okay, I'm going to start this timer in 5 seconds, and we're going to try this out 8 times. All right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. first set of these lateral bounds. Now, for those of you who are low impact, if you don't jump, oops, then don't jump, okay? We're gonna take this and just tap our foot side to side rather than taking off and landing in the air. We'll still use our arms and we'll still try to bring that intensity and do this as fast as we can. Rest. Nice job. Okay. Okay. All right. Second set. Here we go. Second one, just as strong as the first. And we'll try to use those arms. Have that opposite leg kick behind that working one. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. Nice work. Leg burners. All right, third set. Here we go. 20 seconds. Starting right away. Not missing any of that 20 seconds. Here we go. 10 seconds left. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. Good job. All right. So approaching set number 4. So a very common thing that happens, here we go, you guys have started in this one, and we can make sure that this isn't happening, is sort of turning to the side that we're jumping to. We want to make sure we're keeping this a lateral movement, a sideways movement. So we'll stay facing forward, our hips, our shoulders. Okay, 5 seconds left. Straighten it out. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so again, rather than kind of jumping and turning side to side like this, we want to have those hips, shoulders stay forward, and you to move sideways, okay, rather than turn. Let's go. We'll see if we can lock that in here. Oh, yes. On our 5th set. All right, we have 3 more after this one. And we are done the bounds. 1 more exercise after this. We are all the way done. So that's not too bad. We got to finish strong here. Right now in this one. Next one. Rest. Nice work. Okay. Breathing. Ready? Here we go. Set number 6. Let's do it. Just as strong as the first one. Okay, the first one you did when you were super ambitious, when you went as fast as you could. Okay, I want that energy right now on this one, on the next 2, because you have 2 more to do. You got this. 3, 2, and rest. Okay, 2 more sets. Less than a minute. Then we'll take these nice deep breaths. Ready, set, and go. Get exhaling as we jump side to side, trying to use our breath as our power to see if we can get a little further, have a bit more power behind that jump. 10 seconds left. Lateral bands. Let's get them. 3, 2, 1. Rest. 1 more set. You can handle this. You can do this. Okay? Whatever you got to do to convince yourself right now. Last set. Let's go. 20 seconds. This is it. Okay, so I want all of it on this one. Okay? Disregard the fact that we have 1 more exercise. I want all your energy right here for the next 10 seconds on these bounds. Okay, we want to earn this rest. 2 minutes that you have coming at you in 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. Look at that. See, that's the thing about these ones, is I feel like when I talk about them and when I'm explaining them, it sounds like crazy long, like tedious, like 4 minutes. But then when you're doing them, they surprisingly go quite fast compared to how they sound. Anyhow, for some of us at least, we have a minute and a half of, just over a minute and a half of rest for you to simply just rest. Okay, so again, we can move around, grab our water, take our deep breaths, try to calm our body down. We have 1 more to bat around that we are going to finish with. And this last one here, ooh, is probably, I don't want to say it's the hardest one. Maybe I thought the squat jumps were the hardest one. But this last one here is going to be our athletic burpees. So we're working with 20 seconds of these athletic burpees, which are the ones where we're not going down onto the floor. Okay, we're just hands, plank, feet, jump. Okay, that's going to be you for the 20. If you're low impact, we're going to step, step, and stand rather than jump, jump, and jump. All right, that is you. The last one, we're going to finish up strong here today on this circuit. or on this Tabata rather, and then get this done, and we will be done. We do have a little bit of a stretch once we're finished this this last one here, and then finished. Okay, so we have 40 seconds still, okay, to rest. So don't get too excited about starting these ones yet. Yeah, we'll take a couple more of these deep breaths. Grab a few more sips of water. We are going to need all of that to get through this last part here. Now, what I'm going to challenge you guys on today on these athletic burpees is maintaining a specific number through all of your sets. So the first of 8, is going to be your standard setting round. We're going to see how many of these you can get. And then the next 7, I want you to try your very best with everything that you have in you to get that number. Okay, so for example, you might get 8 total in that 20 seconds. I feel like that is a lot. Maybe 5, maybe 10, we'll find out. And then I want you to get that same number every set, all right? I'm gonna press start on this timer in about 5 seconds. So get yourself ready, get set. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is it, okay? So this is the one. We're gonna see how many we can get in the 20 seconds. Okay, maybe you get 5, maybe you get 8, maybe you get 10. Those seem to be the numbers I keep saying. Maybe you get 7, we'll see. 3, 2, 1, and a rest, okay? So you just did it, okay? So keep that number in the back of your head because you are going to have to do it again 7 more times, and that starts right now. Here we go, second set. So again, it's very important that we push ourselves and get that same number of these burpees in. Okay, regardless if you're low impact, high impact, you're still moving quickly. Obviously, you're gonna get way less if you're low impact, that's completely fine. Okay, but this really comes down to you versus you. Rest, rest. Okay, you know, get to go with a bang like this. All right, we have 6 more. Ready and go. Let's do it. Third set. Yes, the kicker here, you're going to be getting more tired as you go through these sets. So getting the same number is going to be more challenging, which is why it is so important that you try your best to do that for yourself. And rest. Nice job. Okay, set number 4. Ready? As ready as you're ever going to be. All right, let's do it. Last round of our Tabata, last exercise that we're going through. We'll do this one 4 more times after this. We are finished. Okay, and that takes us just about 2 minutes, and like it's gonna fly by. Okay, rest. So we still gotta push ourselves here in our last 4 sets. Woo! All right. Here we go. Let's do it. Set number 5. Same thing that we did on that first round. Let's go. Okay, I know we don't really want to do these. Our body, our mind, usually at the end of these sessions, we're starting to get tired, starting to think about the finish line. Rest, okay, but you are almost there. It's so important though. For the next minute and a half, for these last 3 rounds, you're here with us. You're doing everything to get that number. Let's go, okay? Okay, pushing ourselves here. Oh yes, 10 more seconds. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Athletic burpees to the finish line. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 2 more sets. And then we're done, okay? 2 more sets. You can do this. You got this. Second last one. Ready and go. Let's get it. Okay, second last set, which means you're just that much closer to the last one, that much closer to the finish line. Let's get it going on. 10 seconds. Woo! 3, 2, 1. Rest. Okay, 1 more second. 1 last one. Okay, this is it. If you can exceed your number, that's amazing, but I need you to get it right now. Let's go. Get that number, maybe add 1 if you can, because you're so excited about being done. And the fact that it is New Year's Eve tomorrow, woohoo! 10 seconds left, come on, let's go. Pushing ourselves, finishing strong, giving it everything we have. 3, 2, 1, and rest, and you are done, my friends. Okay, so I have another 2-minute timer set, the last one that I'm going to set for us, which is going to take us to our stretch. Okay, so for the next 2 minutes, all I want you to do is rest, recover, which is probably good news to you right now because of that was not easy, okay? You're probably feeling that, like you need to rest. So we'll take this time right now to walk around the space that we have, our mat, our room. Bring our water with us, okay? You can sip on that. Take those nice deep breaths in. Try to calm your body down. We are going to go through 3 stretches together. We'll hold them together. We'll do them together. But we are not going to start them yet, okay? Not until you start to feel more like you could have a conversation with someone, okay, which is probably not right now. You're probably feeling quite hot and heavy and up there right now, okay? So we'll just take the next 60 seconds here to rest. Now, for our stretch today, we are going to be doing a hamstring focused stretch with a band assistance. Now, for those of you who do not have a band like this, preferably you want also a stronger band than this one. You can use pretty much like a towel or a hoodie or anything long like this that we can kind of loop around our foot. I'm also going to give you guys the option that does not require anything, because I know some of us just don't have anything long like this to hold. And that is going to be for our first stretch that we're going to do. That is for our hamstrings, the back of our legs, which, yes, we want to stretch those guys out. Okay, so I'm going to turn off this timer. There's still about 20 seconds left of that 2 minutes. So if you need a little bit more time right now, please take that time. Okay? Take these deep breaths, and you should feel okay before you come down here onto the floor. Still might feel, like your heart is beating, but if I asked you, what your New Year's Eve plans are, you would be able to tell me without, stuttering because you're talking, because you can't talk rather. So hopefully you're feeling okay once you get down here. I'm going to start talking about this first stretch that we are going to go through, which is a hamstring stretch. We're going to focus in on one side at a time. We'll start off laying our back. We've done this one before a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, rather last month. We are going to be getting ourselves into this position here. So I have this band around this foot. And if you don't have a band, we can just grab onto our leg like this and pull in our leg. But ideally, we want something that's going to anchor around this foot up here because it helps us kind of pull in that foot, which gives us that entire stretch down the back of the leg. So what we want to do is find the point in which our leg is straight. And I'm talking like walked out straight. I want you to find that point and then point your toe down towards your face like this. So for some of us, it might be down here. Some of us, it might be up a little bit higher. We're kind of in this point right here. And then we're going to hold this for about 10 seconds, just holding this stretch here, seeing if we can breathe into it and hold that position. Now, what I want you to do is think about exhaling and allowing that leg to come up a little bit higher, and then inhaling and holding that stretch. And we'll take about 5 of those breaths and exhaling, seeing if we can sink a bit deeper into that stretch, whether it's just feeling more comfortable or actually moving the foot up higher, either or, and we'll do that about 5 times. Okay, so by the end of those breaths, again, we're exhaling with that stretch. So the exhale is when we're trying to sink in a bit deeper. You should end up in a straighter, more comfortable position in this hamstring stretch. So once you're finished those 5 breaths, we'll switch and we'll do that on the other side. So again, I'll wrap that foot around band around the foot, and we'll find that point where we're straight and stretched. And then I'll hold this here, inhale, and then exhale, and see if I can bring that in a little bit further. Again, inhale, and then exhale. And we'll go through about 5 of those. And these stretches should not be painful. As a matter of fact, any stretch ever should not be painful. You should just feel that tension. If you're feeling pain, we'll just ease off of it because it shouldn't feel that way. Okay, so we'll go through this one here. Now, once we're done that on both sides, we're going to sit up and reinforce what we just did, okay? So I want you to sit up into this position here. I know my leg is a little bit cut off, but we will find a position where we can sit upright with both of our legs straight down like this. Now, for most of us, if we didn't just do that hamstring stretch, we would feel a lot less comfortable up here, okay? So that kind of helped us out right off the bat. But what we're going to do is spend the next 60 seconds seeing if we can have our hands on the floor in front of us, okay? So for some of us, that is a challenge. If that's not really happening, you can have them behind you, but we'll see if we can bring them in front of us and slowly walk our hands towards our feet. And we'll hold the point in which, again, we feel stretched, but no pain, just tense down the back of the legs. We'll hold that for 60 seconds, okay, for about a minute. And I'm going to stay here with you guys, so you don't have to worry about timing yourself or anything like that. While you're in here, we'll think about taking the feet and pointing them towards your face, and that might actually make you have to back off the stretch a little bit, as it will involve your calf muscles, that lower leg muscle on the back of the leg there, and we'll hold this here. So by this point, again, this should feel stretching in the back, but it should feel like that good type of stretching. So if it's feeling like a little bit too much, we'll just ease off. And so this one, again, it also involves our lower backs. Lots of us might feel that low back stretch as well, which is completely normal. And we'll take a couple more deep breaths here. We have about 10 more seconds. Oh, yes. Okay, so we are going to slowly come out of this one. We have one more that we are going to do, which is about your inner thighs as well as your lower back. It's kind of a full body stretch as well. We're going to get ourselves back into our all four position. So our hands and our knees like this. And then I'm going to take one leg and stick it out to the side. Now, my foot is a little bit cut off on the screen, and that is no bueno. So I'm actually just going to move us down a little bit here so that you can see what's going on here, because it's important. So we stick the leg out to the side here, which right away I'm going to feel a bit of opening in this inner thigh. And then I want to take my back and I'll round it up into this cat-cow situation. I don't know if it's the cat or the cow, but we'll round up as the cat. And then we want to go through the other one, the cow, opposite, okay? And we'll try to go through that, again, inhaling and then exhaling up, and then inhaling and then exhaling down, which is going to give us a nice opening through the hip, the inner thigh, your core, and your lower back. So we'll do that about 3 times on this side, rounding and then arching. And the further back you rock, the more stretch you're going to get in here. So if you want a bit more stretch, you can rock, lean your hips back. Okay, same rules apply with your knee. If you want more support under your kneecap, because it shouldn't be painful, put a towel under there or something so that it is supported. And we'll do this on both sides. So I'm just going to turn around so I don't have room on the other side because of the wall. And then we shall do this over here. Okay, so we'll extend that leg out and try to get the side of the foot flat on the floor. We'll work with that round. Okay, we'll work with that arch. Take our time with them, trying to use the exhale to move. So we'll inhale and then we'll exhale when we move. All right, so we'll go through, again, about 3 of these total. Okay, and then once you finish that one, we can slowly come out of it. I know I said that was the last one, but I actually have one more. I looked at my list. The bow and arrow. Okay, you're going to be nowhere near mad on having to do this one because it feels so good. All right, we're going to lay on our side. Now, this is one that we often will start our sessions with. Specifically, I like to throw this one in on leg days, on Mondays, when we train our leg strength. What we're going to do is weave that top leg underneath the bottom like this. Stack our hands, our shoulders, take a breath in, and then we'll exhale and cross the body, trying to keep this leg down, this hand down, trying to get the shoulder and arm down. And now, rather than moving this one, because oftentimes we move through it and keep it movement dynamic, we're going to hold it. So we can stay here for about 60 seconds, 30 to 60. Hang out in this one, holding this on both sides. Now, for those of us who are not so bendy, You might find that this leg is way up in the air and this arm's in the air and it's not that comfortable at all. So what you need to do is find some way to make contact with the floor with either your knee or your shoulder. The knee is a little bit easier. Something that helps is finding like a pillow or a cushion and putting it underneath your knee. The other thing that you can do is unweave and just stack your legs like this and see if that makes this feel a little bit better. Because again, it should not be painful, okay? It should just feel stretching, feel so nice, especially as you breathe into it, get a little looser. So we'll hold this here. Whew, taking some deep breaths. It feels so good. We'll stay here for about 10 more seconds, and then we'll switch sides. The bow and arrow. Okay, so what we'll do now is reach up and over our head until we're back into the center position, and then we'll switch sides. So once again, I'm just gonna flip around so I can still look at you, or you can just turn around and face your other side, and then we'll try to do this same thing on this other side, exhaling and holding this one here. So stay here, breathing into it, holding it about 60 seconds. And you might find that one side is a little tighter, a little looser than the other. Just work with that feeling, okay? So if one side, you could touch the floor and you were all laid out on the floor, all good to go. And then you get to the other side, and again, you're all hiked up in the air. Next time, we'll try to prioritize the tighter side. We'll start with the tighter side, but just work with whatever you have. Don't try to force anything just because you did it on one side. It might just not happen, or might take time in that minute for you to kind of sink into that same position. So we'll take about 20 more seconds here. You guys can just breathe, relax, hold this here. Okay. So we'll take about 1 or 2 deep breaths. Once you're done those, you reach up and over your head, reset. Okay, any other stretches? I feel loose after those ones. Anything else that you want to do? Now is the perfect time. Okay, your body is prepped and so ready after all that stuff that we did. Okay, but you're done with me. Thank you so much for joining me in the Zoom room. Darcy with the glasses, Allison, also glasses. I know the struggle is real. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow for New Year's Eve workout. We have a full body strength session tomorrow, and then it's New Year's. So yay. Have a great day, my friends, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.